Hey guys, it's Nick the Booksmith. Welcome back, welcome back. So I wanted to show you a couple of things today, something that I am working on to show you the process of how to do. But before I get into that, I wanted to quickly mention the new decorative tape kit in my Etsy shop. And it is a grunge tape digital kit. And what it is one of the ones that you can print on the clear shipping label sheets, and I like to get the ones that are full sheets and not cut into address labels or something. And so I cut some of these out, and I wanted to show you what the pre-grunged tape looks like on some different kinds of paper. So I have some magazine photographs, and this is a page from one of the Edith Holden books, and just some book pages and some dictionary pages and some graph paper. So I just want to show you what it looks like when you tape it on. So it looks really cool if you can use like a zigzag deckled edge scissors, and these are just the random zigzaggy ripped edge scissors. But you could use all kinds of things. You could just use regular scissors and cut it straight across. You can rip it if you want to rip it. This is a piece of crackled masking tape, and I'm going to, I know you're going to want to kill me. I'm going to rip this. There we go. That's what that tape looks like on this paper stock from this book that was printed about 30 years ago. I had tried one out on this title page from an encyclopedia. Looks pretty cool. So some of the tape has different things printed on it. So there's date and noted and today. You can use these for all kinds of things. Let's try this page from a dictionary. Let's use a piece of this darker grungy one. These are not the best scissors in the world. I got them at a thrift store, so who knows why they got sent to the thrift store, right? I love this clear matte label paper. I use the Avery one, but I also found a less expensive alternative at Amazon, and so it will be on my, if it's not already, on my Amazon list. And it works great. And it is for inkjet or laser printer. So I love how it looks when you print it on that clear shipping label, because you can still see through it just like you would be able to see through tape. So I think that's kind of cool. I made my own grunge tape with the alcohol inks. I got them exactly the way I wanted to get them. Then I was able to scan them and convert them over into a printable format. You can use regular paper, or you can print on like uncoated wax paper, which is an oxymoron, because if it's uncoated, is it wax paper? No. Maybe it's uncoated deli paper. Maybe that's the thing. So I'm just gonna grab one of these. It says noted. And we'll see what this looks like on graph paper. So this one is yellowed, but just lightly distressed. So you'll see some dark edges and little spots in it, but it's not like these. And then the crackled one, it too has a few variations in the tones, but it's mostly the crackle. I didn't want to detract from the crackle effect by putting too much other texture in there. And there's also a blank one of this skinnier tape. So there's 3 that are printed little terms on them, and then there's a blank one. There are 2 strips of the light grunged tape, and then there's also the dark version of the grungy tape, along with the crackled masking tape. So while I continue, I will also explain that with that kit is going to come something a little extra, and that will be PNG files. So each one of these strips, it will also come as a PNG file, meaning it has a transparent background, so it's not like it's an image on a white background where you'd have to crop it out. You can drag it and drop it onto like digital collage if you want, and you can create your own grunge tape look if you are creating any digital work like digital collage or journal pages. If you're getting into creating your own printable journal pages, you'll be able to use these to drag and drop onto whatever you are working on. And so there are 10 different files because there's 10 strips of tape. All kinds of options on that, just all kinds. So here is these little boys that are fishing. Zoom in a little there. So let's just see what this one looks like real quickly before I move on to the next thing that I want to show you today. I mentioned in one of the student Facebook groups, so some of you know, I had a continuing internet problem. In the last video when I told you that I had internet, well, I lied because it quickly deteriorated from that point on. So I ended up calling the ISP and they sent out a tech. And it ended up being that squirrels, yeah, squirrels. So here's this tape. If you've ever been looking through an old photo album or something and you've seen tape holding something down that looks like this, look at that. So it's like easy, cheesy lemon squeezy, already done for you. And I love the little decal edge scissors. They're kind of cool. Anyway, moving on. Let me do one on a colored one too. So the tech came out and went up the pole because he saw that the signal coming to the box was really, really weak. He got up on the pole and went up there and found out that squirrels had eaten the wire, had chewed it down to the bare copper. I was like, of course, the squirrels are getting me from within and without. He ran new lines. I'm gonna do it somewhere else. And that's what it looks like on colored backgrounds. It looks kind of cool. I know, kind of cool. So anyway, he replaced the line and we were able to get everything up and rolling again, although I'm still having some issues. I have narrowed it down to a couple of techie things that I'm going to call the ISP and we're going to discuss it, man. We're going to talk about it. So anyway, that's why I haven't been posting as much, is because it's a hit and miss, intermittent internet service at the moment. Okay. Oh, and there's another kit, new kit that I did upload. I think it was it last week? I don't remember now. I don't remember. All the days are the same now. I don't even know what day it is half the time because it really doesn't matter anymore. So there's like woodland images. There's the little foxes in a row. I was not inspired by the squirrels eating my cable line, but little trees, these cool Japanese chrysanthemums, vines of couple different kinds. I don't know what those are. I just thought they were cute. And here's some oak branches with oak leaves. There's the foxen and the squirrelers. And then there's like a little decorative column or divider, however you want to use it. But anyway, that's there too. What was I talking about? Oh, what I'm doing. So, because I had to get new internet and I went ahead and upgraded my plan, which I upgraded, but you know, it's still janky because my equipment was outdated. So I had to get a new modem and a new router. I hate where they sit because you see them. They're out in the open where the cable comes into the house. There's not a whole lot I can do as far as like hiding them. I decided that I needed a little piece of furniture to be able to put the modem and the router in, but I didn't want to see the modem and the router. So I was looking through all kinds of Overstock and Wayfair and Sue Lily and Amazon and online places like Target and stuff like that for either a little tiny slender bookcase or a little tiny slender cabinet with a door that I could put this equipment in. But I found that there was two things that I came up against. If it's a bookcase, well, you can see through a bookcase, so that even though it would get the equipment off the floor, it didn't really hide it. And then if I got a cabinet, you can't fit the stuff in there from behind unless you cut holes in the back. So I was going to have to adapt anything that I got anyway. So I started looking around and to see what I have right now currently. And I found in a closet, janky, ugly, little, cheapo, melamine, cubicle organizational shelf. You can get these at most home improvement stores, Walmart, Target, any of the big box stores usually carry stuff like this. They come in a flat box, you have to put them together, you know, they're like 12 bucks. Well, I have one, it's in good shape. I decided that I'm going to start with this as a base for something to put the said equipment in. So this is what I came up with. I decided that I wanted to make, zoom back. I wanted to make false stacked books with a hollow behind it so that it'll slide into the little shelves and it'll just look like a row of books shelved in there, but everything can go behind it. And of course, this is not a new concept. This has been around for eons and ages. So I just decided to try that out. I had old books sitting around, old textbooks. Like these two, well, these three right here, these three are actually from the same set. They were tax textbooks, like law books, that are horrifically outdated and are no longer relevant. So I was able to utilize the spines, and because they all looked too much the same, I ended up painting them so that they would look like different books because I didn't want like a set of something in particular. Then these two are also the same. This one was the same color as this one. I just left this one as it was. And then I painted this one to make it look different. And then of course these two and this one are, you know, they are what they are. So I had to make 2 rows of books. The sections were too short to fit my modem in. My modem was like this much too tall for one of those sections. So I had to remove one of the shelves and then re-drill holes and just shift it. So now I have a taller section and then I have a shorter section. So this one is for the taller section and this one is for the shorter section. So there will be two rows of books, as they are, and they will be hiding the equipment, well, I hope. And then I got to the point where it's like, well, the little cabinet shelf organization thingy is cheap and ugly. Basically, it's in good shape, but it's just, well, it's boring. That's what I'm going to be doing now. I decided that I hate the way that it hits the floor where there's just the 2 sides that continue onto the bottom. I hate that. And so those are hopefully going to get cut off and I'm going to put these hairpin legs on them. These are 8-inch hairpin legs. I was able to get these on Amazon, if you can believe it, for 20 bucks. Which I haven't seen hairpin legs that are made out of metal cheaper than 60 bucks in a long time. Maybe since the last time I was looking for hairpin legs, a whole bunch of people started making them and they're not as expensive anymore because sometimes that's how it goes. So I was able to get these, like I said, for 20 bucks on Amazon, and they had other heights, but I figured this was going to be plenty. So I will let you watch how the progression of putting the false book fronts together was, and I am now going to continue on and I'm going to work on that base piece of furniture and see if I can make it into something that doesn't look like that. First thing, I have to sand it and prime it because paint is not going to stick to it unless I do that. So that is the unfun part. I do not look forward to sanding and priming because it's boring, but it is a necessary step if I want the paint to stick, right? So to be continued. I will show you what the piece of furniture looks like in a part 2. Don't be afraid to critique. I kind of do this stuff on a whim, by the seat of my pants, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. No, I shaved, so just don't even. And then in hindsight, I look back and I go, oh, well, I should have just done that. Sometimes I overlook the obvious. I get so hyper-focused on the vision in my brain and how it reasonably should progress, the steps that I should be taking, that sometimes I will overlook the obvious, easy, simple way. It's part of the ADHD thing. Sometimes we don't see the obvious when it comes to progressive steps. If I have overlooked the obvious in any one of these, you are welcome to point it out. And I may have gone, oh yeah, there were a few things that you're gonna see in the process video that as I was going along, I thought, oh, well, this would be easier after I've done most of it. All right, so I will let you watch that part of the video, and if you will excuse me, I shall go on my merry way and get this thing sanded and primed so that the fun stuff can begin. Of course, it's only fun if you have the stuff to do it with. And I don't even know if I have the stuff to do it with, and I'm not gonna go to the store. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go, I just don't want to. So we're gonna scrounge. We're gonna scrounge around and we're gonna see what we can find. Usually there's stuff laying around. I'm not a hoarder. So I'm gonna go search around the hoard and I'm gonna see what I can find to finish this up. I was also collecting stuff to finish my bookcase fireplace mantle that kind of needs to be done pretty soon, because guess what? Winter is coming. Even though it's 95 degrees today, winter will be coming again at some point soon, much to my dismay. And that has to get done as well. So lots of stuff on the list. But I thought you might get a kick out of this project since it is bookish. Kind of fits the genre of booksmithism, booksmithery. I like booksmithery. You all have a wonderful afternoon. I'm gonna go get to work, but I will see you really, really soon in the next video. Bye, guys.